Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Taj Rockitt, and I'm here in my apartment here in Pacific Beach, San Diego, California. And we here because it's another episode of Becoming an Ironman Pro. And today, we talking about the San Diego Rock and Roll Marathon, baby. I just completed it over the weekend, this previous Sunday. And not only was it a fun day, but it was a PR, a personal record marathon for me in terms of all the marathons that I've ran. Now, this was my 9th marathon in total. I'm 29. I began running marathons when I was 23. Now, this one's special not only because I ran my fastest marathon in 3 hours, 34 minutes, and 33 seconds. I PR'd by about 4 minutes from my previous fastest time, but I had not even ran more than 13.1 miles since November, since I ran the Rock and Roll Marathon in Las Vegas. Now, this is a huge testament to what my shorter training has done in terms of my entire body and my progress and the progression that I have made in terms of creating a consistent habit of training. Now, this marathon has a lot of hills. There is a lot of hills, and the last 4 miles have a very steady hardcore incline running up the 163 highway. Now, in terms of hill running, I have been doing some training in regards to hill running, but it hasn't really been outside. It's been indoors at Orange Theory. I've been taking about 3 to 4 classes a week, working on the treadmill, working with different paces, working with different inclines, working with different times and durations and variations of all kind of other exercises. Maybe it's run, row, all kind of stuff. But basically, this is a testament, and I am going to literally, I'm going to give praise to the fact that I am not just doing one thing only. The fact that I am cross-training, the fact that I am cycling. I did recently do my first century ride, and I have another one coming up in about a week and a half. But it's the cross-training, it's the swimming, it's the biking, it's the running, it's the different types of running, biking, and swimming. It's also the lifting of the weights, the weight training, the body weight training, the mobility, the flexibility, the yoga. These things all together have created the PR. And this PR, it's not going to be my last PR. I'm telling you, my next marathon is going to be faster, and the marathon after that's going to be faster. My goal ultimately, not only to qualify for the Boston and New York marathon, but become an Ironman Pro and to run a 6-minute mile for a marathon at the end of an Ironman. I'm telling you, it's all possible, but the dedication, commitment, and consistency of consistently doing different things, but having a plan is how you get there. Now, this marathon, it was testy. I didn't feel 100% going into it. I had some slight Achilles pain. I was a little worried that I might have to dial it back. But you know what's crazy? Those first 13 miles, because I have been running, up to 10 miles within the last month. And then since my half Ironman, that was the last time I ran 13 miles. But pretty much I've been going hard, running around a 6.5-minute mile consistently on most of my runs, but always keeping it around a 7 or less. But ideally, especially on the treadmills at Orange Theory, about a 6.5. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, dedication, consistency, and commitment to being better every day, that's what's going to get you where you need to go. Now, the fact that I have put myself in a situation where I am committed to working out all 3 main disciplines of triathlon, the swimming, the biking, and the running, 3 to 5 days a week, that commitment has forced me to do things that I didn't want to do, quote unquote. I wanted to do it, but I didn't feel like doing it, but I did it anyway, and that creates the calloused mind and the body to get used to enduring those long, treacherous workouts. Now, the marathon, I started burning out around mile 18. We had already been going up and down. We started in Balboa Park. We went up through Normal Heights, came back down around, went through Hillcrest. Then we mobbed over into kind of over in Mission Valley. Then we ended up in Mission Hills. Then we went over by the bay. Then we came back. Then we ended up going on the 163. Then we ended up back downtown, or ending up in downtown. Now, the hills were difficult, but I started strong. My tactic and my technique for the marathon was to start strong. So I didn't even know I was going to be running around a 7-minute mile or faster for the first half of my marathon. The first half marathon, I ran in like an hour and a half or less. And basically what that did is that gave me wiggle room. That gave me time to slow down when I knew I was going to burn out. And I knew I was going to be tired around mile 18. By the time I hit mile 18, about 17, 18, I was tired. But what's crazy is around mile 20, 21, even when I saw the hill, I picked it up. Once I got on the hill, I slowed it down, but I picked it up, because what happens is when you start to smell the finish line, when you start to see the finish line, you flip a switch. You flip a switch and you know where you're going, you know what you want, and you push. Also, I'm going to shout out Garmin right now. Garmin, my Forerunner 935, I'm able to check out my pace in real time. And the fact that I'm able to do that while I'm outside, it helps me realize, you know what, I'm not going as fast as I know I can. I can push it a little harder. I can push it a little longer. I can dial it back. I can push. And I was able to do mathematics and calculate what my previous PR was and if I was on track for it. I realized I was going to PR around mile 20. That had the potential to PR, but I believed I was going to PR. I knew I was going to PR. And so I did. It's all about the belief, the fortitude. I saw people falling off left and right going up 163. And you know what? It's a grueling, very difficult hill. But if you want this, and you want this to mean more, the times that you put yourself in uncomfortable situations, that's when things like this matter more. And it's funny, I had some people hit me up like, congrats, da-da-da. And other people were like, so are you winning? Are you making money off those medals? And I'm like, you know what? Those individuals, they don't understand what this even means. Yes, this is technically a participation medal, but it means so much more, especially when you're overcoming so many things outside of just the marathon, outside of just training, when you're dealing with mental battles, when you're dealing with spiritual and emotional battles, when you're doing day in and day out grind, getting up at 3 a.m. like I am. It can be really, really difficult and mentally exhausting. But what you'll find out is when you get to that finish line, you become so proud of yourself. You realize that you have so much in you and you have so much potential and you have so much more that you can pull out. I'm absolutely thrilled and excited that I'm thriving. And not only that, but I'm starting to really shift my focus into athlete to elite athlete. My goal is elite Ironman, right? Become an Ironman pro. That's what this whole conversation is about and why I'm continuing these videos. But the biggest thing is I'm only going to get there if I continue to commit myself to the elite level athlete lifestyle. Keyword, lifestyle. I'm going back to being vegan. We're finishing off our food. We got to be financially, intelligent between me and Laura. We're being very intelligent, but I got my partner in crime, my PIC, my girl, Laura. She's going to be joining me in the vegan journey. We already had done it previously for 8 months and I've never felt better. My previous PR was because I was vegan. Now I can only imagine what it's going to be like when I go back to being vegan, when I continue my extreme focus and training regimen, and if I continue to get up at 3 a.m. every day and get my 8 hours of sleep and continue to stretch, continue my mobility, my flexibility, my strength training, my running, my cycling, my swimming, and everything under the sun, my long hikes, everything. All of these things combined are what's creating this physical, this mental, this strength, this fortitude, this overall callus that's becoming a palace for me and all my goals and my focus. Now, if you have a goal, if you have a dream, if you have something that you want to accomplish, you have to write it down. I know what I need to do, and everybody's like, you need to stop signing up for races. I just signed up for 4 more marathons. Portland Marathon, I got which I'm going to do in October with Laura. She's going to do the half. Every time we travel, she does the half, I do the full. October, I'm doing Portland. Then I'm going to do the Arizona Rock and Roll in January, New Orleans in February. I'm going to do the San Diego again next year in May. And then I'm also going to do the Seattle Rock and Roll Marathon in June. We just committed to all these. Actually, that's 5. That's 5 marathons. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, my main A race this year is the full Ironman in Florida, in Panama City Beach. We just booked our Airbnbs. We just booked all these things. But people are telling me, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. But I'm not going to listen to them because I know what I need to do. And I'm also not going to take advice from individuals who haven't done these things that I'm looking to do. Not that they don't know what they're talking about. Not that they don't have a good idea. But a lot of times people like to put their self-doubts on you. And I'm not going to absorb that. I'm only going to absorb intellect and listening to my body and just being intelligent with my decisions. Now, this year, I have more races and more competitions than I've ever been in my entire life. And I feel better than I've ever felt. I'm getting more sleep. I'm eating healthier. I'm not smoking. I'm not drinking. I'm not partying. I'm not doing all these negative things. I'm not surrounding myself with negative people. I'm putting myself to bed like around 7:30 every night. Even when I want to watch the NBA finals, I'm not watching. I'm turning it off. I'll see the highlights in the morning. And this type of commitment, this type of dedication, this type of attitude, this whole thing that I'm doing right now, it has completely uplifted my purpose, my whole reason for being. There's been a time in my life where I was like, what's the point of life? I didn't even understand. I had no goal. I had no specific focus. I've always been goal driven and, had a whole bunch of family die. And I just you go through trauma and shock, and I witnessed homicide and all this crazy stuff. And when you go through that stuff and you let it brew and stew and you don't deal with it, it comes back and you just like, feels like you just get slapped in the face with life. And then you're like, what is the point? But I recently can say that I have not only refound my purpose, but it's fueling me to push harder. And in my classes that I'm teaching in Orange Theory, it's pushing me to push other people's harder. Even when I'm tired, I'm able to find that fire and help other people work harder. It's one of those things that when you find your gift, your purpose, your reason, when you're able to continue to push and pursue and use your passion to enlighten and ignite other people, including yourself, you're going to realize that you are capable of more than other people ever gave you credit for. And you don't need other people's word, or you don't need other people's, you don't need other people to give you the okay. You don't need other people's permission to go get what's yours. You want to run a marathon? Do it. You want to run a half marathon? Do it. You want to do a half Ironman, full Ironman, double Ironman? You want to do the 5 Ironmans on the 5 Hawaiian Islands in 5 days? Do it. I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. I already know what's being done. And this year I got 5 to 6 more half Ironmans. I'm going to do in October alone. I'm going to do a full marathon. Then I'm going to, a week and a half later, I'm going to do a half Ironman. And then 2 weeks later, I'm going to do a full Ironman. And then I'm going to do another half Ironman. I'm telling you, stack on stack on stack, because I am callousing my mind, and everything starts here. Everything starts here. The whole marathon, on top of it being my PR, I didn't even wear headphones. I didn't wear headphones for the first time in my life. That's the first race I've ever included myself in outside of triathlons that I didn't wear headphones and have some outside stimulus keeping me going. It was all internal drive. And not only that, I went faster than I've ever gone, and I felt better than I've ever felt. I've recovered faster than I've ever recovered, and I'm more passionate than I've ever felt in my entire life. The pain that I'm going through is so temporary, but the success is so legendary that I know I got to keep it pushing, and I know I can. So basically, the reason why I'm shooting this video, not to like tell you, oh, I did all this in PR. I want to visually and just show you. I want you to hear. I want you to feel this passion. And if you ever feel like you're lacking it, really look inside. Sit with yourself. Me personally, I have a hard time sitting and meditating. My mobile meditation is the running, the biking, the swimming. So do what's best for you, but look internal, because the answers aren't out here. You can't go talk to your friend or ask somebody like, hey, so what's the point? Why am I here? And that is a you question. Only you can answer it. So this marathon, it helped me do some internal reflection. I had nowhere to go but inside myself to dig, to think, to reflect, to inspect, to do some internal inventory, and to figure out why I'm here. And I really feel like things started clicking. Even through the pain, things started clicking. And it's usually when you're in your deepest, darkest places, that self-realization, that's when that starts to rise. That's when that starts to pop up, creep up. That's when real things start to unlock, and you start to see things that you only had previously thought about but couldn't even comprehend. So I encourage you, I challenge you, if you have a goal, if you ever want to run a marathon, half marathon, a 5K, you want to go on a long hike, 10 miles, whatever the situation is, 2 miles, whether you want to start walking to work, biking to work, it doesn't matter. Set a goal into place and begin action. Begin action. It all begins with action. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be your fastest time. Every time doesn't need to be your best. I'm not saying every marathon I'm going to run is going to be my best marathon ever. My goal is to continue to get faster, but obviously life and things happen. But just continue to act. Continue to make the motion. Continue to make things happen. Because as long as you continue to make things happen and you put action into place, the universe, the world, it's going to feel you and it's going to help you. It's going to propel you, especially if you're doing it for the right reasons. It's all about the why. It's all about what's getting you up. I thrive off the pain, the pushing my limits, because I know I was given this body, this mind, this life for a reason. And my goal is to continue to motivate others through my own actions and to help other people. I coach people by day. I coach people by night. I coach me by day and by night. I'm not only helping myself, but I'm trying to help others. And I want to help show others physically, not just verbally, what we are capable of. So a lot of people are like, why? What's your why? Why do you want to do marathons, Ironmans? Why do you want to do all these things? Because I was given the opportunity to. I was given the body, the mind. I was given the platform. And we live in a day and age where I can literally document it and tell you about it after I've done it. I don't tell you about it before. I tell you about it after. This was hard. This was probably one of the hardest marathons I've ever done. And I think I've decided that marathons are harder than century rides because it's only you that's making you move. You don't have wheels that you can kind of like stop pedaling and keep coasting. It is you. It is you. It's you. It's only you. And I'm at the end of the day, I was given the opportunity, I was given the passion and the will and the want and the energy and the consistency. And I got a beautiful partner that's down to ride with me this whole time. And this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. And this is what I'm doing. And it's done. So with that being said, San Diego Marathon, baby, PR, ran my fastest ever, and it was only 3 hours, 34 minutes, and 33 seconds. I only say only because my goal is to run a 6-minute mile at one point during a marathon, and my goal is to compete at an elite level, so I need to be running that after I've already swam 2.4 and I've already biked 112. It's going to be done. I'm only 29 years old, and every year that I get older, I'm getting wiser, I'm getting stronger, I'm feeling younger. I got people asking me in my early 20s, and I'm 29, about to turn 30. I feel younger, I feel bouncier, I feel more electric, I have more of an infectious spirit, and I'm healthier, I'm happier, I'm clear-minded, I'm sober, I'm smart, I know all these things, and I made the dedication, the sacrifice, and the commitment to be great. And I just hope that I can speak some energy into you as well, and just let you know that you have what you need, and you are enough, and you are able to make anything in this life that you want happen. This marathon, it was tough. It was beautiful. I can't wait to do it again. This is my new hometown. It's Portland, Oregon is always my hometown, but San Diego, California is my new hometown, and it's where I'm from now, and it's what I'm repping, and I'm going to be here every year doing this marathon, but I'm going to continue to use athletics, whether it's marathons, whether it's triathlons, whether it's extreme swimming, whatever the situation is, to continue to overcome my fear and to continue to chase my dreams. The ocean still scares me, but I'm still getting in it. Running and pulling a muscle still scares me, but I'm still doing it. Cycling and potentially getting a crash scares me, but I'm still doing it. Obviously, I'm being intelligent, but you can't control outside forces. You can only control yourself. So control yourself and do the best with what you got, and I guarantee you'll surprise you. You'll surprise yourself. You'll surprise yourself straight up, baby. So do you. I encourage you, rock and roll. We just actually, Global Running Day was yesterday, and so we register for all these half off marathons. But if you see a marathon and it's cheaper than normal, and you're like, oh, it's like a year out, register for it. You'll figure the rest out later. If it's travel, like going to New Orleans for the first time, we'll figure out travel. Going to Arizona, figure out travel. We're going to Seattle, figure out travel. We're going to figure all this stuff out as we go. But if you commit to something, it's a lot easier to figure out. If you don't commit, you may never even try. So you have to commit to an idea. You have to commit to a goal. You have to commit to a focus, because that actually helps you feel more fulfilled. It gives you more why, it gives you more drive, it gives you more fire and more fuel. So utilize that to be the best version of you every single day, every single way. You know what I'm saying? So once again, it's Taj Rockitt. I'm becoming an Ironman Pro. So episode 15. This is 15, baby. But I'm not stopping here. You're gonna continue to see me on a consistent basis. Keep watching out for these Motivated Mondays, Functional Fitness Fridays. Keep watching out for these Becoming an Ironman Pros. And I promise that I'm gonna continue sharing this fire, this fuel, this energy, this desire. And I just hope that you continue to dig deep inside yourself and figure out what it is that you're here for, and use your gifts for good. Help other people, help yourself. Do what you need to do for you. PR, baby. This ain't gonna be my last one, but it's my most recent. You know what I'm saying? Taj Rockitt, becoming an Ironman Pro. Go get what's yours, baby. Go get what's yours. I'll see y'all around the way next time.